All right, what's going on YouTube? J Lockhart here. We are doing something different, and I think it's going to be a new norm for this channel. As of my last video, I posted a box opening or booster box opening of One Piece, and I am happy to announce the day after, which was yesterday for me, last night, I got first place in my locals out of 31 people. XO, 5 rounds, and I want to show off the deck I use. So yeah, we're doing a deck profile. We're doing a deck profile, and I have something to show in regards of the OPTCG Sim that surprisingly not a lot of people are utilizing on YouTube. It's a quick little thing, but I'll show that after the deck profile. We might get into some gameplay on the sim, just to see how I play it. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert, but just from only doing 5 locals, the last 3 being, or my third and fourth local that I went to being X1. I'm very comfortable with this deck, and I'm planning to bring this deck. Potentially, this might be the final aspect of my structure for the deck for the Treasure Cup. I'm going to the one in Niagara. Uh, so let's switch over to the overcam, and then we'll take a look at what I got for the winner card. So the winner card, I got the Kaido. Funny enough, that this is the only participation pack I was missing, and I got it as the winner card. So that's cool. Participation cards completed. Whatever else I get onwards will be doubles. I would actually like uh, the 3 costs Luffy more as a double than anything else. Yeah. So participation pack at this local, I got both the Uta film pack and the Trafalgar Law from the participation pack. So I went in with Zorro. Zorro, coming from a Pokemon background, uh, Zorro feels very similar in pace as uh, basically as I would play in Pokemon. It's quick, it's fast. Usually matches for Zoro is on like 15 minutes or lower, 20 minutes max. Where I'm seeing a lot of decks like blue versus green, they're going overtime. Uh, Blue against purple, or basically all the other colors, they tend to last longer for uh, the matches. So I like it being fast paced. So just showing off the middle, I am having troubles with my secondary monitor. Give me a second. But yeah, so just going over the deck list. I'm going to show it on the sim as well so we can take a closer look on how I play them. But just showing off the ratios. I play a 4 of a kind of Nami. You see this is essential for the deck for draw engine, as it's not really a draw engine, but getting the card that you need from the Uta pack. Since I've now attended 5 uh, locals that, luckily enough, still had these to give out, which you can only get in the locals, by the way. I put 3 Sunnies. Uh, First time actually using the Sunny, like I shoehorned the Sunny, seeing it being played a lot in other decks, especially in Japan, and I see why. So I'll explain it more later. Uh, the only blockers, 4 of a kind of Chopper, and what really saved the day for me for this tournament was Otama with the negative 2000 to one of your opponent's characters. Uh, the hardest matchup I've experienced with red is the green kid deck. Kid 8 drop kid. I explained it in my booster box opening, but uh, Zorro, you want to be swinging leader every single time. You're not attacking characters, you're just trying to chip away at life. So by the time you don't want to go late game. That's how I play. It's the definitive of a rush deck. I play two VVs because of the 1K counter, but also being 4K with Zorro is great because it's now a 5K hitter with a Dawn on Zorro. Uh, two Sanji Rush and two Sanjis from the rare from the OP-01. Uh, to be honest, this Sanji I never play. It's just a 2K counter in hand. Uh, and as well as Brook from the starter deck. Brook, I basically use as a 2K counter. It's once in a blue moon that I would play it just to have a two drop 3K that can just attach an extra Dawn to be a 5K for the next turn. Uh, but it's also sometimes helped me set up the Sanji, kind of in a sense. So because swinging with Sanji Rush, he'll get knocked out next turn. So at least you'll have the Brook to be able to attack next turn as well. The essential Zoro Rush from OP-01, four of a kind. It's you need it. It's a 3 drop 5K. It's a stable card at this point. Um, Law the Law decks are using this as well. Luffy decks. If you can get a four of a kind, they're expensive. I was lucky enough to pull all of them in the booster boxes I got. This might be surprising for some people. Three for Robin. Um, I honestly use her as a scapegoat. If she sticks and survives without being rested and jet pistoled or knocked out or whatever, every time I play Robin, everyone knows what Robin does. Basically, if I attach a Dawn, I KO any 3K or lower immediately. It's not a rush card, so it's going to sit for a turn. It's basically a scapegoat. A lot of people like really, really make sure they get rid of the card before I can even use it. So it's more of if it sticks, great. That helps it go by faster. But I don't see much play with her. So she's more of a scapegoat to me. This one is also kind of what I've learned from the past couple locals I'm doing is making sure you have at least an extra attacker that's not rush that you haven't used to rush attack to attack next turn. So managing your Dawn to have, let's say, if I have this Luffy on hand, he's great because he's a 2K counter as well. But if I can place it down next turn, he swings for 8K for being a three dropper. So he swings hard, which is great. 4 drops is Trafalgar Law from the film pack. He's basically Otama. Um, in the tournament, it was weird. Like I was facing the third round, I faced a kid deck that was eight, like put down the 8 drop kid, and I was able to get rid of it easily with Otama and Jet Pistol. Um, but he set up another one. So I was able to uh, put down another Otama and Trafalgar Law to drop it down 4K and swing hard at it, and then was able to win the game. It was, I don't know, it was lucky. This deck is based off of um, just keep swinging and also luck. But I put in 2 Utas. Nothing crazy with Uta. Just you can get. Usually, I use her to place her down to attack next turn because she's 4K, so it'll be 5K with Zoro. But to grab either a Nami or a 2K counter. That's what I usually use Uta for, or sometimes potentially Otama, based off of what the situation is. Like I think the most played card I usually do or attacker is the starter deck Luffy, just because he skips over blockers. As I said earlier, I don't attack characters with this deck. I swing at leader no matter what. Uh, I let the opponent choose how he wants to deal with it. So if he set up a lot of blockers, great, the blocker is gone. If they have a lot of cards in hand, because he's swinging for 9k, they have to waste a lot of resources in hand, or event cards if they have Dawn of active while I'm attacking to really deal with him. I usually don't swing him for game. I actually use him to kind of scapegoat it, but I'll get more into it later. I do play one of Shanks. Funny enough, yesterday I first time ever playing him. It was against a mirror match with Zorro. Um, it was basically I had one more swing. I swung with the Zorro with a Dawn on him. So he swung for 6k, basically for his life. He was at 0 life, and then he used his last counter. So I dropped 9 and swung for 11k for the game. So that was the first time, and like he didn't have enough cards in hand to counter it. So that was the first time I played Shanks. That was a winning match, which was great. So yeah, Jet Pistol, I was playing around with the numbers just because of it's a 4 cost. So usually I'm just trying to swing as much, but the fact that you can get it through trigger from life, or as well as getting rid of the 8 cost kid with Otama, or uh, even Kaido, right? Or like any I usually use Gum Gum Jet Pistol with against the 8 kid Kaido, and Hawkins in the kid deck, because Hawkins swings twice, um, which is not great for us during late game because they always wipe our characters, and if they can chip at our life, I usually finish my matches with 3 or 2 life left. Like that's how fast paced my games are. 3 or 2 life left. The match is done. Uh, I hear like a lot of mixed reviews about Diable Jambe, but Diable Jambe has been my winning like card every time. So uh, the finals yesterday. So like the my opponent was a kid deck. Uh, we both mulligan into pretty bad hands in the start, so it was kind of iffy for both of us. And luckily, he was not able to draw into the 8k kid, but he put in like he had 2 blockers set up, and then he had no life. So I was able to add no characters on board, just a Zorro. Uh, I got Nami from the life from the my opponent's turn attacking me. So I dropped the Nami. Diable Dambe was within the 5 cards. Rested another Dawn. And then my favorite thing to do when it comes to the Zorro deck, the reason why I left these Dawns on the table here, is that when I'm playing and I'm swinging for the last for game, I basically scoop up my Dawns, grab my Zorro, tap it, and it says 15 to or 15, 14, or 13 depending. So in this situation, I used 1 Dawn for Nami, 1 Dawn for Diable Jambe. So I had we got it. I had 13 to swing to leader. He can't use the blockers. Uh, I was making him and forcing him to waste his resources by the time to swing. So my favorite thing to do is scoop, slap the Zorro down, and swing big for game. That's what I usually end off with. And then the last card I have in the deck here is Round Table. Just a single Round Table. It's funny enough, I think it was my third matchup with the kid deck that I was facing that placed down two AK kids. Um, I had I had this in hand as well, so I could have negative 10,000. Uh, use whatever character to get rid of the kid and swing big for game. I had a lot of outs. Otama, uh, Law, uh, we got Luffy, and the Diablo Jambes and pistols have been game changers for me. So like understanding understanding to hold those cards and then use, because four of a kinds, you'll see more of them. Use the Brooks, use the your counters besides Otama, even though Otama is a 2K, to actually uh, use that when you need it. Because red decks don't use too many counters. Like actually, don't use too many counters. As you can see, most of the cards on hand, I use them. I play them. Like my hands are usually like mid, like maybe 3 to 5 max at a time, because every card that I draw into, I'm either will use it as a counter or holding it off to set up to get rid of a big hitter or a blocker. It's it's a fast paced deck, and it's a high gamble. I was telling one of the players I faced against, the way I treat this deck is basically like poker. I'm given the hand I'm dealt with, bluffing in regards of the 5 cards I have in hand, if they're all 2K counters, because mainly most of the counters that you use in a red deck are 2Ks. But like just reading your opponent, just like how are they wasting their resources, if they have a lot of counters in hand, how they're going to use their blockers. A lot of green decks and purple decks like to draw from life, so they're okay getting rid of a couple life early on, and that's what you want. So when mid game, which is end game for this deck, you're basically wanting them to be at one, like basically at one life, so you can start using these combos to kind of skip the blockers and swing big. So that's the deck. This is the deck that I've been using. Well, that I used last night to win the 31 participant local. Uh, and we'll take a closer look. So I have the sim, and then I want to show you guys. Uh, I just keyed out the brown color or beige color and just threw a background to kind of give this aesthetic. Uh, but I have uh, the exact same deck here on the simulator. Okay. Uh, Technology, or the sim, or if it's, I don't know what it is, but I didn't realize that TCG Sim has froze since the Don Flamingo game. So let me fix this first. Not finding any luck. There we go. Okay. Oh, um, we'll go first. And we'll mulligan. That's better. Okay. To deploy for Nami. I think it would be better to get the Zoro. I'm gonna go back and forth and just see. Hopefully, it doesn't freeze, because that would be such a waste of time. But okay. So three. Might as well swing with Zorro. Just go aggressive. They block. They block. They take a life. They probably counter. Yep. And that ends my turn. So I'm not used to blue purple Kaido. They're interesting because if they knock out a character, which they're trying to do right now, um, they get an extra Dawn. But if it can get another attacker, that would actually be great. But I only have two 1Ks. So they get an extra active Dawn to use now, which is good for them. They're probably going to set up another blocker. They don't use anything. Okay. So we have 5 Dawn. Make sure that everything is up to par. We'll attach a Dawn to Zorro. 4 Dawn to deal with. Interesting. Okay, so we'll swing 6 at Zorro. Leader. They're going to counter or 2 block. 2 counter block, probably. If they take life, that would be great. They counter. We'll drop for the Zorro. 2, they're going to counter probably. Because 2 color tones is 4 life, so they're pretty protective for that. So Thunder Bagua, and then we'll set up a blocker. They have nothing on board, which is great. They're going to swing at the Zorro. We can't... it's too late. I should have blocked it, but that's fine. We have 5. It'll be 7. They got a blocker. This card... Interesting. They might have a lot of event cards in hand because they got rid of Overheat. But that should be their turn. Do I really want to... Okay, so we have 7 Dawn. I can swing at leader for 9k with the Luffy. But nothing else can go through. So it might be a better play to attach 2 Dawn on Zorro. Swing, see what they do. And then just drop the Luffy. We still have all our lives left, so that we should be good for another at least 2 rounds. They take life, which is great. His ability is if they KO, he gets a Dawn. He's at 6. He'll get 7. I think it might be better to play VV and swing 6 with Nami. And then I can... He'll probably block and then counter with a card. Or not. That was, I think he misplayed there. He didn't, yeah, he thought I was doing 5k, but I was doing 6 probably. Drop down VV and then end turn. So he misplayed, which sucks. That's OPTCG Sim for you. You can't be click crazy. You have to actually worry about, oh, okay, getting rid of my blocker and probably VV. Yep. He's gonna swing at Nami. Have to take it. Ooh. Shanks. That could be interesting. Okay. We'll hold off on Shanks. Um, we're just gonna swing 7k to leader. He's either gonna block or just waste a bunch of counters. Hopefully he does the math right. So 2k. Yep. There you go. And we'll deploy swinging at 9. So he has to get rid of a lot of cards or just take life. And there's Slender Bagua, and then he has to waste a 1k or 2k. If he wastes a 2k, that's all he has. Oh, he misclicked again. Okay, that's not good for him. That was a waste. I kind of feel bad about this one. But I guess they're learning. Um, that's fine. If I get a Nami, then I can try to get a what do you call it? Diablo Jambe, hopefully. That's fine, we'll take it. No trigger. So a bunch of counters. He has 2 blockers, which is great for him. No Diablo Jambes. So we'll just get Zorro. I think we just swing big here with the Luffy. This goes through all of them. And we just go for it for game. He has to use up all his counters. But he does have Dawn active, so he needs 5,000. So, okay. That didn't go well for him. But yeah, see how aggressive this is? And then in his case, he wasn't doing the math right, but that's the objective. Just kind of go for it. I had a lot of life still, so I was able to really just drive for it. We'll try. So, okay, Don Flamingo. We'll go first. I don't mind this hand. And enter. We got 2 attackers next turn. They've set up their simulator to not auto draw, which is why that took longer than usual. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. Do they have Perona or they have nothing? Interesting. I always assumed every Flamingo player would use this as a 2k counter. Touch 1. Attach 1. Swing for 5k. So I would have saved that for the attack than anything else. It's okay to not play anything on the first turn. They're probably going to take life, and we'll deploy Chopper. End turn. They're going to use Alvida for sure to knock out. They need to set up auto. They probably just got the game, but Sunny's gone. Set up a blocker. They had Perona, or they just drew that. It's interesting. And then they're going to do the 2k swing or 7k swing. Oh, they happy triggered the click there. They had to. Yep. Oh man. Yeah. That's a major punish on their end. I don't even know how how they organized their cards. They clearly couldn't have done it. Got rid of the counter. Let's deploy Zorro. But like Zorro's on like autopilot, man. Like whatever cards you have in hand. Okay, cool. I have the Otama. I will wait for that. I'll take life if anything. He's already down to 2 life. He heavily misplayed because of clicking. He needs to change his settings. This is the second time my opponent has done that today. But we'll see. He can still somehow catch up. OBS is playing nice with the simulator right now, which is great. Teach. Bring back my blocker, which is fine. I would attach to Dawn and swing, and then use Perona and Alvida to attack. But he's probably going to... Okay. I wouldn't have done that. I would have utilized... Because Don Flamingo's ability right there. He's going to swing 5 at Zorro, probably. Pretty sure this person's still kind of figuring out the mechanics of the simulator. Oh. Wait. Oh, return one of your characters' cost. Okay. You just gave me a counter for it. So we'll resolve that. And he's probably going to swing for... That was a weird misplay. He should have attacked, but I guess wanted to use the ability, but he trashed the card to do so. He can't do anything else, so I'm just going to be aggressive and keep Zorro. And we got 2 blockers in hand. Six. So we're just swing 7 to leader. He has to waste 2 resources or grab a life. There goes the camera. What will he do? I think at this point he's checked out because of that turn. He wasted 2 cards. Swing for 6. Takes a life. Might as well go super aggressive. Swing for 7. He has to use 3 cards. 2 cards, or take life. He takes life. I'll let it go. So I have Diablo Jamba in hand. So that's game. So this is okay. At least I get to show how I like to finish. So hopefully this doesn't bug out. But this is the key card right now. This is how I will finish. He's probably going to set up a blocker if he has it. He has not used Don Flamingo's ability once this game. So he's definitely learning this deck. So I'm going to let him play it out so he can learn. So no hate against this. Misclicks and mishaps happen on the simulator since everyone's new to it. So he sets up the blocker, which is good. He gets to see the top 5 cards and organize it. And now he can finally set up the ability for Don Flamingo. He's gonna swing for 7 to probably Zorro, and then he's probably gonna attach the rest of the Don to teach. But hopefully so on the simulator, it's a little bit weird to place the cards, to organize it, because it shows you the 5 cards. You choose. Why is he? I guess he wants to return 3 cost. Oh, okay. He gets to return my Zorro, which is fine. But he's swinging 7 to this. I can't block it, which is fine. I'll let it go. But Alvida's ability is the fact that you have to trash a card, which is not the greatest idea. But Alvida's probably going to attack Zorro. They're deciding what card to discard. I know it says you may, but you have to, right? I don't. Let it go. Doesn't matter because I got game here. But this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. I'm gonna slap all my Dawn except for the last one. So I'm really attaching. But I'm doing this super early on. But 1300, does he have it? Does he have it? But that's my favorite thing to do. Just scoop all the Dons up and then just go for the kill. There we go. All right, cool. Couple of mishaps on games today, but that's honestly how I play Zorro. Deal with the cards in hand, and yeah. I've been in and out of this video because of all the glitches I have with OBS. But yeah, hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, comment below. You know the deal. I'm going to be doing more of these videos. I want to get my friend to start using this, so because he wants to learn, and then we can do more study matches instead of trying to find random ones, and then we can kind of cater towards like better meta decks, and then I can kind of teach him at the same time. But and then we'll like talk about it over Discord or something like that. So yeah, more to come. More gameplay for Zorro that I'll probably do for the channel, and then more updates about other locals I'll do, as well as deck profiles for Kid for sure next I'm gonna do, and then one for Law. that I want to do as well. I've already built. We can switch over to my just the face cam here. I've already built a Don Flamingo deck as well as Kaido. So I have all four. So I don't know where I put my kid deck at the moment, but uh, all four decks in at least one in every color. So experimenting. I'm liking the Don Flamingo. That last match was not a best example of that deck, but it's fun to play, especially coming from Pokemon. And then I think for a lot of Magic players, they kind of like the style of the deck. But yeah, cool. If I had the outro would be here. If not, thanks for watching the video. Peace.